About 1,000 NPP faithful to vote in party's upcoming Special Delegates Congress.
A call on the Interior Minister to act swiftly in the matter relating to the attacks on journalists by uniformed men.
Aisha Wan breaks down in court over what she describes as purported lies.
Government releases 50% of the total 203 million Ghana cedis owed members of the National Food Suppliers Association.
Also in this package, 7th nationwide COVID-19 vaccination begins tomorrow.
Nigeria steps up against the spreading anthrax after confirmed cases at a livestock farm in the capital.
And arresting Putin would be declaration of war against Russia, South Africa president tells ICC.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News Hour at 7. We're live on GTV and GBC News. My name is Clara Mlani.
And I am Samuela Porter. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Good evening.
Between 900 and 1,000 persons are eligible to vote at the upcoming New Patriotic Party's Special Delegates Congress scheduled for August 26.
The number constituting the special college will be the final determinant for the 5 aspirants out of the 10 who had been approved after passing the Michael Quinn-led vetting process, vying to lead the NPP as flag bearer. GBC News' Clara Mlano has been speaking with the party's General Secretary on plans to the upcoming or for the upcoming internal event.
There has been a special interest on who leads the New Patriotic Party to election 2024, with 10 aspirants in the race and selection process to be conveyed at a Special Delegates Congress deemed by some as bias against the grassroots. But having cleared all 10 flag-bearer aspirants of the NPP and presented its recommendations to the steering committee, the move has activated Article 13, Clause 9 of the party's constitution, which says, if more than 5 aspirants meet the qualification criteria, a special electoral college will be assembled to finalize the selection process.
Then this week on Thursday, the 20th of July, the party NEC and National Council will be meeting. Vetting committee can only recommend. It is National Council that gives final approval. Barring any unforeseen circumstances or situation that may happen, I'm sure all the 10 personalities who were recommended by vetting committee will sail through. Then our party constitution is very clear. If you go to Article 13, it states clearly that where after vetting we have more than 5 aspirants, then the party goes into what we refer to as special delegate college to trim the number from whatever figure to 5. So that is what we are waiting. So by Thursday, if National Council gives the approval, then it sets the date for special delegate elections, which will happen on the 26th of August.
And who is eligible to cast a ballot at the upcoming August event? The composition of the about 1,000 delegates is made up of founding members, members of the National Council, National Executive Committee, Regional Executive Committees, the 137 NPP members of Parliament, and all members of the National Council of Elders. The rest are party card-bearing ministers, representatives from external branches, all former national officers, 3 representatives each from the Women's Wing, Youth Wing, and Nasara Wing.
We are in the final stage of doing the compilation. And on top of my head, basically we are not going to exceed 1,000. So between 900 to 1,000 delegates will form the special electoral college. Because when you talk about the funding members, some have died, so we have to take their names out also. And again, we also have to look at past national officers. Some have also died, so we are trying to organize all those things. I'm sure before the week ends, we should have the final list for the special delegate election.
General Secretary Mr. Justin Frimpong Kodia says the Congress is just one of the 10 stages preceding the November 4, 2023 presidential primaries, where the ultimate 1 out of the 5 would be chosen to hoist the party's colors as leader into the 2024 exercise for the new Patriotic Party. On the ballot sheets at the upcoming August Congress would be no female contender.
At the end of the day, it was free, fair, and transparent. We gave the opportunity to everyone who had the interest to contest. But so it's rather unfortunate that out of the number of people who picked, all of them are men, and it's something that maybe going to the future we may have to encourage more people and also even support them to also contest. But at the end of the day, it starts from the person. The person must have the dream and the aspiration to contest.
And as we all know it, the race for the top spots has Alan Tremantin, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Boachie Jakun, Dr. Osei Friyakoto and Kennedy Japan. Also eyeing the seats are Joe Gate, Kwabne Japan, Dr. Kofi Kunedu Apreko, Ernest Kwejo Poku and Francis Adai Nimu. Hearing at a high court in Accra was disrupted briefly after M1, popularly known as Aisha Wang, broke down in tears over what she alleges as lies being leveled against her. She denied claims by the prosecution that she held on to the passports of some 2 Chinese nationals because she had brought them from China to work on her faulty excavators. Ms. Wang told the court she had the passports because the owners asked for her help to renew their permits, which had expired.
And Huang, amid tears in court, claimed innocence in the ongoing criminal trials against her. It took effort by Justice Lydia Osei-Bafo and the Chinese interpreter to calm Ms. Huang down. Prosecution led by the Director of Public Prosecution, Ms. Yvonne Obuobisa at Accra, was in the middle of cross-examining on Tuesday afternoon when Ms. Huang, who was seemingly overwhelmed by the evidence of her alleged crimes, broke down in tears, asked why she arranged for 2 of the accused persons to be picked up from the airport to Bepotinting if they were not in the country at her instance. Aisha Wang said that statement was not true because she had no knowledge of the arrival in Ghana because she did not facilitate their travel. Prosecution pointed out to a portion of Ms. Huang's ordinary statement taken on August 30, 2017, where she stated that she engaged the services of one of the Chinese nationals to provide repair services at a mining site at Jamang. Aisha denied the statement, explaining that she never said anything like that. She added that she was asked to sign the statement because that was the only way she could leave the station and that she did not understand the content of any of the records. Aisha Wang also denied her company, Golden Asia Company Limited, owning 6 excavators, which some had broken down, for which reason she brought in 2 of her countrymen for repair services with spare parts from China. Sitting continues July 24, 2023.
Court 3 Division of the High Court in Accra on Tuesday dismissed an application by the MP for Asin North, Mr. James Chachukwuisen, for the court to stay his criminal trial. His lead counsel, Mr. Chachu Chikata, on Friday, July 14, 2023, prayed the court to stay the criminal proceedings against Mr. Chachukwuisen, pending 2 separate applications at the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. The court, after refusing the application, continued the cross-examination of first prosecution witness, Mr. Richard Tichi Mensah.
higher has been served on HC President. So we are comfortable with the ruling of the court. Tomorrow we are supposed to be back within one Council for Appeal is supposed to finish examining PW1.
Once we proceed to the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, whatever order that comes from those superior courts will do with what she's doing now. We'll undo it. So when it was dismissed, we then plunged into the trial itself. And you realize that today can be described as Black Tuesday for the prosecution's witness. The prosecution's witness was in 6th and 7th. In fact, he swore an oath that his statement was written in English. It turned out that when he was shown his own statement, he spoke in Twi and it was recorded. That goes to the credibility of the witness. That goes to his mindset. So clearly, today, you notice that the prosecution's witness was not helpful to the prosecution at all. And even when he said that he had attached documents to his complaint to the police, one of the documents he said he attached was a statutory declaration of Gyakye Quayson. It turned out that there was no attachment of that sort. So clearly, the interpretation is that today the prosecution's own witness statements has been thrown to the dustbin.
In Parliament, the Minority Caucus boycotted parliamentary proceedings for the 4th time in a row in support of the Member of Parliament for Assin North, Mr. James Gyakye Quayson. Members of the caucus disclosed their decision to boycott parliamentary business on Mr. Quayson's trial days when he was sworn in on July 4. Their actions have since hindered parliamentary proceedings, with the Speaker, Mr. Alban Bagbin, describing the action as against the standing orders of the House. Members of the public, including some legislators, have also expressed dissatisfaction with the continuous absence of the Minority Caucus from Parliament to show solidarity with their colleague who is facing criminal prosecution. The Minister for Agriculture, Mr. Bryony Champon, says government has released 100 million Ghana cedis to the National Food Buffer Stock Company for onward payment for suppliers. The amount, he says, represents 50% of the total 203 million Ghana cedis owed some suppliers. The Agric Minister on Tuesday briefed Parliament on the challenges faced by the National Food and Buffer Stock Company and the resultant picketing by some food suppliers at its premises for the past 2 weeks. Mr. Bryony Champon also promised that the rest of the money owed suppliers will be paid in a month's time. The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, last Friday directed the Business Committee to program ministers responsible for finance, education and food and agriculture to brief the House of the supposed challenges at the National Food and Buffer Stock Company. Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Bagbin, however, was not present during Tuesday's proceedings.
Mr. Speaker, currently Buffer Stock owns its suppliers about 203 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, since 2017, Buffer Stock has done big business with the suppliers to the tune of 2.7 billion Ghana cedis. In 2017, it was 81.1 million. 2018, 296 million. 2019, 441 million. 2020, 467 million. 2021, 692 million. 2022, 726 million. Mr. Speaker, Buffer Stock has made payments in respect of 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 in full. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, of the 726,617,881 Ghana cedis, 500 million cedis has been paid to the suppliers. We still owe suppliers a little north of 203 million Ghana cedis. Such release, Mr. Speaker, we've sent to Finance, and last week we received 100 million, which is 50% of what is due the suppliers. We have transferred same through the processes to buffer stock. We're hoping that, Mr. Speaker, by the midweek this week, that 50% will be sent to suppliers. Mr. Speaker, I have also assured the suppliers that by the 17th of August, as we commence the payment of the 50% 17th of July, by the 17th of August, the remaining 50% will be paid.
Now, despite the enormous importance of maize in Ghana, maize farmers in the country continue to experience low yields, making Ghana self-insufficient in the production of the crop. Scientists are currently adopting ways to increase yields, and one of the methods is the efficient and judicious use of fertilizer. At Dida in the Etima Kwawoma district of Ashanti, more than 50 farmers embarked on a field trip to access the outcome of 5-year field trial on improving maize cultivation.
The field trip was undertaken by research scientists implementing the Fertilizer Research and Responsible Implementation Ferrari project with funding from USAID. The 5-year project is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, research scientists from Soil Research and the Savannah Research Institutes of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIR) and some Ghanaian universities. The project involved the efficient and judicious use of fertilizer on the piloted farms for maximum yields. Research data revealed that close to 6 tons of maize per hectare is achieved across the major ecological zones in Ghana with the use of fertilizer. Perfect yield can be achieved through irrigation, optimal fertilizer application, and adequate weeds, pests, and disease control. Dr. Williams Mensah from Ferrari gave highlights of the project, which ends in 2025.
What we are trying to do is to try to improve 3 things in the country. 1, transform the fertilizer sector. 2, improve agricultural sustainability in the country by making sure that the fertilizers that are being applied are applied correctly at the right time and at the right amount, focusing on the 4 R's and also the other issues that will raise productivity.
A senior research scientist from the Soil Research Institute of the CSIR in Kumasi, Dr. Patrick Ofori, said the field trial has revealed that addition of sulfur to the NPK fertilizer will improve soil quality.
We decided to bring the farmers around Achuma Kwangoma to come and observe the demonstrations that we are conducting here, involving the use of both the granular and the briquetted fertilizers for maize production. The ultimate aim of this project is to improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of the existing fertilizer blends that we are having now.
Some farmers made some observations after applying various categories of fertilizer on their farms.
Said the Dantamo, I yes, Sonko. The almost say, Mumse, what this is I Magina de Abbey. Yes, Yababa Bishop, Nemum, yes, you say. Anything be Anna, you be a Jumano. Yes, so you be fertilizer, no, a Juma.
This year's celebration of the World PR Day is focusing on harnessing the power of public relations and recognizing its relevance in today's interconnected world. As part of activities to mark the day, the University of Media Arts and Communications, UNIMAC, organized a practitioners' conference in Accra.
Public relations play a key role in championing causes, shaping public policy, facilitating dialogue and debate, and aiding in economic development. Practitioners believe that while public relations is widely accepted, it is barely understood due to a reductive view of its scope of functions. The day therefore presents the opportunity for the practitioners to unite and stake a claim for the practice. At the second edition of the UNIMAC GIJ Academic Practitioner Conference. As part of the celebration, the Vice Chancellor of the UNIMAC GIJ, Professor Kwame Nakwanza Edu, said public relations practitioners must uphold high standards of professional ethics.
We need PR to tell the true story of our major, our mandate as a university, and where we want to go with it. We need PR to help tell the story of the distinctive areas of specialization that exist in the 3 constituent institutions. We need PR to help communicate our vision and aspiration to our publics. And on that score, it will be remiss of me if I do not utilize this rare opportunity to share our vision, which centers on the university's aspiration to become a first-rate communication university.
The Dean of Faculty of Public Relations, Advertising and Marketing at the UNIMAC GIJ, Madame Mavis Sando, spoke about the conference.
We at the faculty have instituted the UNIMAC GIJ Academic Practitioner Conference, which is an annual event to bring both communities together to deliberate and find a common path. We envisage that this will benefit the 2 communities and our students in various ways.
As they mark the day, PR practitioners hope to extensively put the spotlight on the strengths, limitations, and potential of the profession, as well as utilization of new tools and trends.
Final year students at Accra Girls Senior High School have participated in a session to prepare them better for their WAEC examination. It was organized by the Community Education and Youth Development Directorate of the National Commission on Culture. The session is to help the students excel in their general knowledge and arts examination. It places emphasis on the practical application to deepen the understanding and practical skills in various art forms.
This session was purposely designed to equip the students with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel in the upcoming exams and for their future endeavors. The National Commission on Culture believes that art is not just a means of self-expression, but also a powerful tool for personal growth and development. For the 2-day session, the facilitators will guide them through a diverse range of artistic disciplines. The Assistant Headmaster for Academics at Accra Girls Senior High School, Mr. Sebastian Akalinya Adama, said the program is a good initiative and needed to encourage the students in the visual arts department to love what they are doing.
This is an area they think that is a male-dominant area. So they come into the program with some misconceptions, and we need to disabuse them of those minds. So it is a good program that we are really grateful to the National Commission on Culture to bring it to the school.
The students were divided into 2 groups for practical knowledge on painting, fabric design, still life drawing and lettering.
You coming to our aid, I think that will be more improved in the arts way, and then when we're going to write WASI, and I think it will help us very much.
Me, for instance, I'm not really good in general knowledge in arts, but at least I've been able to develop more knowledge about color psychology.
The Director of Community Education and Youth Development Directorate of the National Commission on Culture, CYCC, Dr. Akosi Abdallah, reiterated that the workshop will provide an enabling environment for students' development.
And we're trying to replicate the activities of this center in all the 16 regions. So if this is replicated, it will make our job much easier. But then for those of you out there who can support these young people, our doors are open.
The Commission believes that every child has special talents which must be harnessed. They point at the fact that the classroom alone is not enough to unearth and nurture these talents. In view of this, the CYCC provides training in the performing arts, visual arts and vocational skills.
still watching news live on GBC News and on GT. Remember, watching me live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Now, also in this package, when the Ghana Journalists Association engaged the Inky fraternity in Accra on Tuesday, the call was for the Interior Minister, Mr. Ambrose Derry, to take quick action against the incessant attacks on journalists.
The GJA President, Mr. Albert Jumfo, said the association expects Mr. Derry to promptly take action, just as he did in his reaction to the IGP's leaked tape. He believes this will ensure that the rule of law is upheld.
In focus was the recent attack on the Upper West Regional Chairman of the GJA and staff of GBC, Mr. Swala Abdul Wahab, by an immigration staff. The Ashanti Regional Correspondent of GTV, Nicholas Osewusu, by police officers, and Angel FM's Tema Regional Correspondent, Augustine Ahiabo, by residents of Ashaiman. The President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Albert Jumfo, said the conduct of the uniformed officers was highly unprofessional and a gross misconduct which warrants severe sanctions.
The violations that have been recorded in Ghana over the past year, in our view, give cause for pessimism regarding the country's performance in the next ranking of global media freedom. It is obvious that our press freedom environment is deteriorating seriously, and it is our view, therefore, that efforts to bring a positive change should begin from authorities in sanctioning people who commit atrocities against journalists and media practitioners.
Mr. Jumfo said journalists see men in uniform as partners in development in ensuring that governance and the rule of law are upheld, and therefore view their actions against journalists as a deliberate attempt to gag journalists. He called on the Interior Minister, Mr. Ambrose Derry, to act swiftly to deal with the matters, just as he did in his reaction to the IGP's leaked tape. The association also called on government to adequately resource the National Media Commission to effectively carry out its mandate of monitoring and regulating media content in a proactive manner.
GBC News will telecast live the Public Accounts Committee sitting from Parliament House
from 10 a.m. starting tomorrow, Wednesday, 19th July 2023. We are back with more stories. Please don't go away.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Early childhood development ye kwanya ye fasodititi ye mofranentem. Ewo say ye wow pe. Mehweso afa me SP inro nyina abra menyem na mademe hu afi malaria. Mehweso ama me banu funsuo nkoa abosumi sia edikan. Eno nkoa ne aduane ne insu a ohia. Onya abosumi nso a mema me banu aduane a ahoden wom. Eno dudu a ohia na aboa ma me ba no anyi pepepe. Mekoswa de me ba na ko ama ya bobɔ ne mpane na ya soso ne num ama na nya baiba emu ode. Mekoso de odo atete me ba owo ne padua mu sinto na mama no akwanya abofra bia hia. Mehwesa me ba no behye adesua sentem na ne daachi awie ne peye. Mehwesa me ba no foma Metne no odo kwan so. Menya no hi. Amekwa no ho ban abreni na. Meta me bampu to a chintempa feeling collaborate. Enti won so yenesa. Simple, sing me my song, but
Piccadilly Choco Cookies, made with the finest Ghanaian cocoa. Now introducing Piccadilly Butter Cookies, a new addition to the Piccadilly family.
This advert is FDA approved.
88 at 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 at 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 at 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303-959-604 or 0303-959-605 and to buy email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 at 88.
I'm not blaming you for sleeping with another woman.
You threw me out of your house because I slept with your friend.
I'm not angry either, at least not anymore.
Did she put a knife to your throat and forced you to have sex with her?
I just feel pain.
Please don't ask me if I'm okay, because clearly I'm not.
I mean, my life was perfect.
Thinking of you makes me happy.
And then you came along and you just wrote it all down to hell.
I'm getting very tired of your little zingers that I am the uncompromising one. You know what, let's just lay it out on the table and get it finished once and for all. You know one bad thing about being in love, Joe? Is that it makes you vulnerable. It opens up your chest, it opens up your heart, which in turn makes it easy for someone to get inside and mess it out.
Blurred Lines, coming soon to GTV.
Welcome to Business, brought to you by MTN. Now, women in the maritime sector in West and Central Africa are meeting in Tema to discuss the sustainability of port operations in the face of the current challenges across the sub-region. 16 member countries are participating in the 3-day conference and will be looking at leveraging on technology to improve operations.
Maritime trade promises enormous economic growth for West and Central Africa. Experts say inclusive development is one of the surest ways and sustainable means to harness the full potential of Africa's blue economy, and women must be at the heart of this agenda. Realizing the importance of women in the maritime sector, the network of professional women in maritime and port sector of West and Central Africa was formed to promote and spread this vision of equity and unity in the sector through the perfect integration of women. Since 2007, the network has been involved in strengthening the management capacity of women and driving the development of port and maritime activities in West and Central Africa. As a result of the activities of the network, there has been progression of women into key positions in their respective countries. At the 3 days conference, participants from 60 member countries will discuss major issues bordering on the sustainability of the ports in the face of the current challenges across the sub-region. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Mr. Michael Luguje, commended the women for their significant contribution towards the growth of port operations in the region.
I just wish to then close this welcome remarks by drawing our attention to the fact that in discussing sustainability, you should also discuss the human factor, woman in the maritime sector. That is why you are all here as a women's network to champion your interests and the growth of the woman and the significant participation of women in maritime. How are you doing that? I'll be very much interested in what you are doing at your various countries.
The Deputy Minister for Transport, Mr. Frederick Adom, applauded the women, saying the ministry will continue to support them to grow the blue economy. The occasion saw the inauguration of the Ghana chapter of the Network of Professional Women in Maritime and Port Sector. The executives were sworn in with a mandate to promote the activities of the network in Ghana.
Also in business, the cedi continued its stable performance against the US dollar on the interbank and retail markets, but dipped in value against other trading currencies, including the euro and the British pound.
Throughout 2023, the cedi has largely held its own against the greenback, with analysts pointing to a stable run prior to the Monetary Policy Committee meeting scheduled for Wednesday to Friday, along with the subsequent press conference on Monday, July 24, 2023. Beyond the month of July, the performance of the cedi will depend on several key factors that are poised to shape its outlook. External debt restructuring process will play a pivotal role in determining the cedi's trajectory. Additionally, market observers will closely monitor the outlook derived from the revised fiscal framework, the annual cocoa loan syndication by Cocoa Board, and the successful completion of the first review of the IMF program. These crucial elements are expected to influence the performance of the cedi in the coming months. While the cedi has demonstrated resilience against the dollar, it faces challenges against other significant trading currencies.
Also in business, museums are among the most visited locations, with the world's top 100 art museums attracting 71 million visitors in 2021. With a large number of these artifacts emanating from Africa, most Africans believe the return of stolen artifacts during the colonial era would boost tourism in the museums of many African economies.
The stolen goods are part of our heritage. They are part of our story. And so it's as if there's an amputation that has happened that needs to be restored. Beyond the economic benefit, there's also an emotional and restoration connection with these artifacts. Some know exactly some of the things that have been taken, but it will be difficult for any particular country to list all the things that they have, because these are things that were not taken when we were born, after we were born. They were taken before we were born. Some taken, those who are older know some of the history. So it is only when you go to museums and you find them labeled that this is from, for example, Aplau, this is from the people of Benin or of Nigeria or of Togo, that you know that this belongs to your people.
And that was business brought to you by MTN. MTN is everywhere you go.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all. Her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Everybody loves Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today, 0302-200-390 or 059-692-0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
88 at 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 and 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 and 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to buy email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 and 88.
Good evening and welcome to the energy segment. My name is Dominic Noji. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC Ghana, says government should not nurse any idea of introducing new taxes on petroleum products in the mid-year budget review. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is expected to present the mid-year budget review to Parliament next week. COPEC says from its sources, the government has plans to impose new taxes on fuel. Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amoah, lamented the impact of such an action on Ghanaians.
It will be very disappointing if government, through the mid-year budget, to, as it were, from what we are hearing, add any new taxes to the existing crippling taxes on petroleum price. When you get into austerity, the expectation is that you would ease down a bit for the people in order that your economy could recover. But this insensitivity of taxes, if that is the tangent that the mid-year budget review is, we can only caution that the Finance Minister refrain from putting any further taxes on the already challenging high fuel cost in the country. We do not anticipate he will think that raking in additional revenue from collecting more taxes on petroleum would heal the economy. Rather, it will collapse a lot of businesses, it will collapse jobs, it would make livelihood unbearable. And we think that the earlier that decision or thinking is shelved, the better it would be for all of us.
The Chief Executive Officer of the GNPC Foundation, Dr. Dominic Edua, says claims by some industry players that GNPC Foundation has taken over the responsibilities of MMDAs by funding infrastructure projects are untrue. According to him, the foundation is only complementing the roles of the assemblies by spreading the revenue from the oil resources across the country. Mr. Edua said this when GNPC inaugurated some infrastructure projects for some schools and communities in the central region.
GNPC Foundation says the vision is to impact lives across the 16 regions of Ghana by ensuring that every Ghanaian benefits from the revenue from Ghana's oil and gas production. The central region had her share of the oil revenues through projects like classroom blocks, sanitary facilities, astroturfs, boreholes, among others. Since 2018, about 7,300 scholarships have been awarded to students at various levels of education, both local and international. Projects that were due for handing over in the central region include an ultramodern 160-bed capacity girls dormitory at Ejuma Kumando, Phase 1 of 5-room laboratories center and ICT facility at Ejuma Kubisiase. The Vice President of the Central Regional House of Chiefs, Osajefo Kwame Akonu, lauded the GNPC Foundation for the decision to spread oil revenues across the country.
The impact is being felt by the citizens, so I will still encourage them to do more, not only in my area, but wherever they need help. Especially, I'm also happy to see them give scholarships to the underprivileged, brilliant, but needy students. Look at the number of scholarships they're giving to the students. Look at those who went to Cuba to study medicine and all that. I think GNPC is doing, GNPC Foundation, for that matter, GNPC, is doing very well. I applaud them.
The Chief Executive Officer of the GNPC Foundation, Dr. Dominic Edua, handed over the facility to the chiefs and people of the area.
A non-certified electrician at Kove, a community in the Avenue electoral area in the Akachi North district of the Volta region, has been electrocuted. The deceased, named Gershon, was working on a live electric line on a distribution pole in the town when the incident occurred. The chairman of the Akachi North chapter of the Certified Electrical Wiring Association Ghana, Mr. Xavier Bejira, narrates the incident to Energy News. Viewer discretion is advised.
Around 5 to 6 p.m. I met a certain man. He told me that he heard that somebody had been electrocuted on electric pole. Upon going there, all the man told me is true. We were in the house crying here and there. So I tried to engage, and they told me that the dead body had been deposited in the Akachi Mook. The reach we did they removed him. Since I became the chairman over here, this is the first time that this is happening. And my advice is that climbing poles is not our job. If you are a certified electrician, that doesn't give you any mandate, any permission, or authority to be climbing ECG poles. If you want to climb any pole at all, you're supposed to ask from the ECG. If they give you the mandate, they allow you, then you can climb. And meaning that if you have the power, you can work safely over there.
Well, that's it for the energy segment. My name is Dominic Onoji.
The show was a jar of bar anyone conquering dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Injija wohoma malaria enka won to them. Lufat eye malaria drop e.
And now you may kiss.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat a two malaria sententem. FDA ajedede inkratwe atu.
Time now for help brought to you by Lufat, Tobinco's premium gift to Africa. The 7th National COVID-19 Vaccination Campaign starts from tomorrow, Wednesday 19th July to Sunday 23rd July 2023. Of the targeted population eligible for vaccination, only 10 million persons have so far been fully vaccinated, representing 59%. The Ghana Health Service therefore hopes to exhaust the country's 1.1 million doses of vaccines in the stock with this exercise. Hence, it is appealing to the unvaccinated public to take the jabs to protect the general public from the risk of emerging variants. A report by Sarah Fori.
Even though the WHO no longer regards COVID-19 as a public health emergency of global concern, it recommends that countries maintain efforts to increase vaccination coverage of its populations. This is because the trajectory of COVID-19 remains unknown. The objective of the 5-day exercise, to begin from Wednesday 19th July to Sunday 23rd July, is to prevent the emergence of new virulent variants of the virus, which in turn puts the entire population at risk. Providing further updates on Ghana's COVID-19 journey, the program's manager of the expanded program on immunization, Dr. Kwame Amponsah-Chiano, said Ghana's active cases currently stands at 1, with no critical or severe cases. The last time a death was also recorded was in January this year. However, Ghana is not entirely out of the woods if the targeted population is not vaccinated. With reference to the regional and gender rankings, the regions in the northern Ghana recorded the highest vaccination numbers than those in the south, and females than males. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, said strategies deployed, including mass vaccination campaigns, have yielded positive results.
As of yesterday, as we said, we have one active case. That seems small, but it is small because it's not you. If it is you, it's 100%, isn't it? Okay. Nearly 26 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine have reached almost 14 million persons, out of which 10 million persons are fully vaccinated. And as I said earlier, this represents about 59.4% of the target. While this is commendable achievement, the country is still far from achieving its national target. This means that the whole population still stands at the risk of a likely event of new variants as COVID-19 remains extremely unpredictable.
He further appealed to the over 4 million persons eligible for vaccination but are yet to do so to make themselves available for vaccination because of the acclaimed safety and efficacy of the vaccines. Persons 15 years and above, including pregnant women, qualified to be vaccinated. Sarah for GBC News, Accra.
And that's it for a health segment brought to you by Lufat Tobinco's premium gift to Africa.
GBC at 88. The authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Welcome back. Nigeria is gearing up to stop the spread of anthrax after cases were reported at a livestock farm northwest of the capital, Abuja. The outbreak was confirmed by the Agricultural Ministry after symptoms of the disease were discovered at a farm in Gajiri along the Abuja-Kaduna motorway in Niger State. The farm, which has cattle, sheep, goats and poultry, has been placed under quarantine, and 50,000 doses of anthrax vaccine have been sent to the area. The government is encouraging livestock owners, farmers and the public to remain vigilant and report any other suspected cases. It's also urged farmers to avoid slaughtering sick animals, as this could expose people to anthrax spores. Many communities, mostly in northern Nigeria, depend on livestock farming and herding for their livelihoods, supplying meat to the rest of the country. Ghana on June 1 also recorded an anthrax outbreak in the Upper East region. A ban was imposed on the movement of ruminants by the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council, was subsequently lifted. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has told the High Court in Gauteng that arresting Russian President Vladimir Putin if he travels to South Africa for the BRICS summit in August would be a declaration of war against Russia, and the president did not want the public to know that. However, the court ruled on Tuesday that Ramaphosa and his government's response to the DA's legal attempt to force the government to arrest Putin should be made public. Quote, it will be reckless, unconstitutional and unlawful exercise of the powers conferred upon the government to declare war with Russia by arresting President Putin, unquote. Ramaphosa told the court in his affidavit, which he argued should be kept a secret. We'll bring you the sports segments shortly.
Now let's talk sports. The Accra West Division District Division 3 Middle League final has ended on a high. Adabaka Elders FC beat Abo Arsenal 4-0 in the final at the Dansoman Karl Randolph Park. The Netball Championship has ended in Accra. The event served as a justifier to select players to form the core of the national team, the Golden Maidens, ahead of the upcoming African Netball Championship in Kampala, Uganda in September and the African Games in March 2024.
7 teams participated in the 2-day national championship at the tennis courts of the Accra Sports Stadium. The aim of the championship was to select players to form the core of the national team for the upcoming African Games in March 2024. The teams, namely Spice Girls, Blazing Hand, Future Stars, Hunters, Generations Netball Academy, Shalom and Gusa, displayed the stuff they were made of. The all-play-all encounter served as a good test for the players to hone their skills, for the technical handlers to select the best. At the end of the first round, 4 teams made it to the semi-final stage. They were the Hunters, Generation, Shalom and Gusa. Generations Netball Academy beat Shalom 20 points to 11 in the first semi-final match to book a slot in the grand finale. Hunters from Winneba also beat Spice Girls in their encounter. Gusa Select team placed third at the end of the championship, and the fourth position went to Shalom after a 15-12 final scoreline. The final was action-packed. Hunters from Winneba faced Generations Netball Academy. Generations made the best out of the opportunities and carried the day 10 goals to 6. Despite losing the game, officials adjudged Uzita Mensa from Hunters Winneba as the best shooter. President of the Netball Federation of Ghana, Reverend Emmanuel Minkwe, praised the ladies for their efforts.
Majority showed glimpses of skills that we require in the national team, but there's a lot of work we have to do in terms of the technical aspect, that is the rules of the game. When we go to camp, we will have to work on that.
And I'll take you to the world of entertainment. Stay.
Let me lighten your mood with some arts and entertainment news. I am Hagar Owusu. The Deputy Minister for Tourism, Art and Culture, Mr. Mark Okrieku-Mantey, has picked firms to contest the MPP primaries for the Ayenswano constituency. The Ayenswano seat was snatched by the NDC's Teddy Nanayaw Adi in the 2020 elections after defeating the MPP's candidate, Samuel Ayape. The renowned producer, Mr. Okrieku-Mantey, hopes to snatch the seat right back for the MPP in the 2024 elections if given the chance. The New Patriotic Party shall hold its parliamentary primaries from September 23 to December 2nd, 2023.
And that's it for News at 7. My name is Samuela Kwasi.
And my name is Clara Omlanu.
Have a good evening.
Good evening.